If you're thinking about grabbing the JBL Tune 720BT headphones, because of all the hype around JBL's pure bass sound, and that crazy long 76-hour battery, hold on for a sec because what I'm about to reveal might just flip your expectations. But here's what surprised me. These headphones, despite ticking a lot of boxes on paper, come with some hidden quirks and problems that you definitely need to know about before hitting buy. Surprisingly, what's often praised in reviews doesn't tell the whole story, and I'm here to give you the honest truth, warts and all. So, are these JBL Tune 720BT headphones the budget-friendly gem they claim to be, or just another overhyped Bluetooth set? Let's dive deep and find out. And stick with me because by the end, you'll know whether to grab these or run the other way, and I'll even share a couple of quick hacks to get the most out of them if you do decide to buy. First, let's talk basics because that Bluetooth 5.3 tech a lot of people rave about is supposed to make wireless streaming seamless. But does it really? The JBL Tune 720BT promises insanely long battery life, up to 76 hours on a single charge, and a speed charge feature that gives you 3 extra hours with just 5 minutes plugged in. Hands down, that's impressive on paper, especially at under $50. Now, if you're someone who's constantly on the move, whether it's grinding at work, working out, or just binge listening to podcasts during your commute, that battery life sounds almost too good to be true. But here's where the catch sneaks in. Battery life is always tested under perfect conditions. Real-world use. You might get closer to 50-60 hours, and factors like volume level, usage of voice prompts, and calls impact that number way more than JBL lets on. So, if you're the kind of person who cranks the volume or uses these for calls, expect to see that number dip significantly. That speed charge is a lifesaver though. Just don't expect a full recharge in 2 hours if you're using it heavily. Okay, so sound quality. The main reason most people shop JBL headphones. The Tune 720BT claims to deliver that legendary JBL pure bass sound, the same tech powering some of the world's most famous venues. On first listen, those bass tones hit you, loud and proud. But surprisingly, the bass can sometimes overpower the mids and highs, making podcasts or clear vocals sound muffled or dull. For bass lovers, this is great. But if you want a balanced soundstage to enjoy a full range of music genres, from classical to jazz or even podcasts, these might not satisfy your ears. Thankfully, JBL's free headphones app attempts to fix this by letting you tweak the EQ. But here's the twist. It's only available on certain devices, and sometimes the app barely holds a connection with the headphones, making custom sound settings more frustrating than fun. Plus, the voice prompts guiding you through features. Some users found them repetitive or even annoying, pulling you out of the listening experience instead of enhancing it. Speaking of user experience, the JBL Tune 720BT is designed with comfort in mind. Lightweight and foldable, they're supposed to be perfect for long listening sessions, even those marathon Netflix binge days. Here's the kicker though. The ear cups can feel a bit tight after extended use, especially if you have larger ears. After a couple of hours, the pressure can get noticeable, making you want to take them off more frequently than you'd like. And with no active noise cancellation, ambient sounds easily sneak in, which can be a deal breaker if you're looking to drown out noisy environments like flights or busy streets. The lack of ANC feels like a missed opportunity, especially when competitors in this price range are starting to include it. So if you're someone who often travels or works in loud spaces, these might leave you wanting more. Now let's talk connectivity and buttons. The Bluetooth 5.3 tech sounds advanced, and it is, but in practice, some users report occasional dropouts and a slight lag when watching videos on other devices. JBL claims the Tune 720BT will seamlessly switch to your phone if a call comes in, which sounds like magic on paper, but in everyday use, it's sometimes glitchy. Calls are where it gets interesting. Voice Aware lets you hear your own voice during calls so you don't feel like you're shouting in a tunnel. Yes, it's a real thing. However, the built-in microphone quality has mixed reviews. Some say calls sound clear, others complain about muffled audio or background buzz. Also, the buttons on the ear cup are convenient for controlling music and calls, but they're a bit too sensitive. I found that simple head movements or accidentally brushing the headset could trigger unwanted skips or pauses, which is super frustrating when you're mid-song or conversation. So if you're someone who's often active or on the go, this might drive you a little crazy. Now, here's a funny thought. These headphones do fold flat for easy portability, which is supposed to mean super convenience for travel. But if you're like me and have a tendency to toss your gear in a bag, beware. The ear cups, although foldable, are made of plastic that doesn't feel super durable. The hinges feel a bit flimsy, especially compared to competitor headphones twice the price. So you might want to treat these like a delicate treasure instead of a rugged travel buddy. Imagine accidentally dropping your prized headphones, and they clap back with a "I told you so" in the form of a crack. Not exactly what you want when you've saved up for a budget-friendly pair. So if robust build quality ranks high on your list, steer clear or at least handle with care. Now, who exactly should consider the JBL Tune 720BT? If you're a casual listener who prioritizes punchy bass and wants ridiculously long battery life without breaking the bank, this could be a sweet deal. Great for students on a budget or those who mainly use headphones for house chores, gaming, or casual listening. But if you're an audiophile chasing crystal clear sound, want durability, or need noise canceling for work or travel, you might want to look elsewhere. Also, if you make a ton of calls, the mic performance and sometimes inconsistent Bluetooth switching could leave you annoyed. Here's a quick story to wrap the sound experience into perspective. I once took these headphones on a weekend hiking trip. The battery life lasted effortlessly through multiple days of music and podcasts while trekking. The bass made those dramatic nature soundtracks in my playlists extra epic. But when friend called mid-hike, the mic quality made it hard for them to hear me clearly over the wind. Also, the ear cups started feeling tight during the long wear, forcing me to take breaks I hadn't planned. By the end of the trip, I was torn between wanting to keep them for the battery life and bass, and craving headphones with better comfort and noise isolation for my next adventure. Oh, and let me lighten things up with a few jokes before we wrap this beast of a review. Why don't headphones ever share their feelings? Because they're always wired to keep it in. Also, when I told my JBL headphones a joke, they didn't laugh. They said they only respond to bass. And here's one. Why did the Bluetooth headphones stay single? Because they just couldn't find a proper pair. Finally, I tried to sell my old untangled cables. They were a mess, so I called them not for sale. In the end, the JBL Tune 720BT headphones offer a compelling package for the price with solid battery life. That signature bass punch, customizable EQ options, and light portability. Yes, there are some compromises, comfort issues, subpar durability, occasional connectivity glitches, and a basic call experience. But they still hit the right notes for many users looking to stretch every dollar. So if you want headphones that sound good straight out of the box, last multiple days of use, and don't drain your wallet, these are worth a serious look. But if you demand premium comfort, crystal clear balanced sound, and flawless switching between devices, you might want to explore other options. Ready to decide? I highly recommend checking the latest price on Amazon. I've dropped the best deal link right in the description below for you. Don't just take my word for it, but also keep these pros and cons in mind before you press Add to Cart. If after all that you do pick the JBL Tune 720BT, just remember to keep the EQ settings handy, charge smartly, and maybe prepare some extra ear cushions for comfort. Thanks for sticking through this deep dive. Happy listening.